All right, so I want to give you a brief overview about what quizzes can do. The first thing is that you should be able to link this to Google Classroom. So if you click on classes on the left, you should be able to import your classes and then everything is synced, right? If you want to find a quiz, you can always, in the search bar, if you go to find a quiz, you can search, let's say I'm covering biomolecules. I can just search for a quiz that's about biomolecules. So they have a huge bank of a lot of different things. If I like the quiz, I can, I just peruse through the questions. If it looks pretty good, then I can create a duplicate for editing. And what that allows me to do is I can rename it, I can save it to a certain collection, I can edit the questions, I can delete the questions, I can adjust the amount of time that students have for each question. And of course, you can edit that individually too. Once I finish it, I'm actually able to save it in any collection. And all the collections do is allow me to go back to it. So now that I've saved it in my collections, if I go and click collections, I just saved it in, I guess not biology, I saved it in environmental science. So I can look here. These are all past quizzes that I have done, so I can always go back to it. I can also share this collection with any other teacher, any other person that I would like, so that they also have the bank of the quizzes that I have chosen. So I want to show you a little bit about how you assign this. So if I just click on the quiz, you can click assign homework. You can choose a due date. So let's say I chose March 18th. You want to make sure that you are selecting which class you actually want it to go to, and then the name that you put is going to be the name that appears in Google Classroom. You can also schedule a time when you want it to show up. So let's say you're planning in advance, you want all of your ducks in a row, then you can schedule it then. So I'm going to press next. And then the cool part down here with the advanced settings, this kind of allows you to use quizzes in whatever way that you would like. So you can, for student attempts, you can make the attempts unlimited. If you want them to get as much practice as possible, you can always give them a criteria like you should do this until you get at least an 80%. Or if you want to make this like a quiz, you could just do one time. You get one time to do this, and then you can measure how much they know. You could put it to 2 or 3, 2 if you want to do like a built-in retake. It's really up to you. You also get the ability to control if they can see the answers or not while they're taking it. So if you have that on, then that means that as they're taking it, if they get the answer wrong, they can see what the right one is. If you check validate only, then that would just tell them that they got it right or wrong. But if they got it wrong, it wouldn't tell them the right answer. And then off, obviously, they don't get any information. This one down here, show answers post-game. So if you have that on, then after the game, they can go through all of their questions. They can see what they got wrong. They also see what the right answer is. I would recommend, if you're using this as like an actual quiz, to turn that off. I would say in general to turn this off. And then all of this fun stuff down here is just different effects that they can have while they're playing. But I would say the most important settings are up here. Okay. So once you've gone and looked at your settings, you can press assign game. And it is automatically posted to Google Classroom. You can just adjust when, like, what topic it's going under. So I'm not going to show you the results of that, but I can show you, if you go to reports, for me, because I give homework pretty regularly using this, if I go into any of the reports that I see, I can filter by class, I can filter by score or last name, which makes it a lot easier for me to put in the grade book, and I can see the student and their percentage. It also tells me how many times they attempted it. I do unlimited attempts because I want them to have the most practice because this is homework. But obviously you can decide what you would like to do. But it's just a really quick check for either what they're understanding, or it can be a quiz setting. It's whatever you would like. So this gives you an overview. It can also give you by question the different answers that were chosen, kind of the percentage that were right. It can give you also, if we click on overview, if my mouse decides to work. It's being very temperamental. Click. Okay, that's not working. In any case, if that decides to work, the overview could kind of give you more in depth about what students are getting right or wrong in these questions. And it can give you a lot of data to go off of like what questions are the most missed. So this was the overview of quizzes. I hope it helped. Let me know if you have any questions.